34 without loss, and this is the fourth over. After deliveries already bowled in this one, as Irie comes into Ogis, and Ogis, well, that was uppishly, and again, we see the not good feeling there from the Nepalese fielder.
Certainly, I think this is an area that they'll have to work on going into the World Cup. They will have to do quite a bit of work in terms of their fielding, because we have seen so many lapses already, and you cannot afford to do that when you're playing against international teams.
They will hurt you, and hurt you badly, as far as that is concerned. Nepal would have taken number 2 spot coming out of Asia. This one is swung high, over, long on, into the bushes. As a matter of fact, it strikes the concrete structure just above the ground.
Rebounded into the bushes, and it was very hard indeed. But I was going to make the point, very interestingly, because Airy has not tried to bowl this slow it up, flight the ball. He has pushed every delivery through, and they are actually playing him as a medium pacer, which makes life much easier for the batters.
So true. Much more easier, Charlo. 41 without loss. True. Much more easier, Charlo. And Melius settles Airy. Had a good innings in the first game. Scored 50 plus. That would have carried the Nepalese team home. But this one is now driven into the offside. And playing that short extra cover position, comes around, picked up. Total remains on 41 without loss. Outside the off stump, and it was full pitched there from Airy.
I think Melius was looking at the umpire, hoping that it would be a wide.
Comes in once again. This one cracked, and 1-2 bounces into the long off area, and that's 4 well taken runs there from Melius.
So Melius continued to show his intent, and he's been striking the ball very well indeed. Airy not flighting the delivery, pushing them through, and Melius likes it as it comes onto the bat very nicely, and he's capitalizing on every opportunity he gets.
So after 5 overs, 45 for no wicket, and 9 runs exactly per over, the run rate for the Windward Islands Volcanoes. And very good start indeed from this opening pair. Captain Commander Melius, he's on 36 not out, and just 4 from the bat of August. Of course, the bunch of the strike being taken up by Melius.
Well, definitely, and we see Lalit has been pulled out of the attack, and it looked like Pratis, who comes back into the attack. He had 1 over, and so he's coming back into the attack, and it's with the Ogis, who is really a spectator, who was a spectator now taking strike.
Take some strike. Here comes Pratis now to Ogis, and this one wraps him on the pad. He was looking to pull it somewhere over backward square leg, but didn't get it back onto ball.
I don't think it was short enough for that kind of a shot. It would have been advisable to tuck it on the onside and pick up the ones. But he was looking to go over square leg and really missed it, taking on the body.
Well, it's one of the dangers being a spectator at the other end. You sometimes do get a little raggedy, and we saw that there from Ogis. Let's see what happens this time around. Gets back onto the ball as he hoiks this one over long on, and got to get pretty close to the boundary. Picked up there now. They take 2 in the process as a throw comes in, and 2 more to the bat of Ogis. He's now on to 6. The Volcanoes, they're 47 without loss in this the 6th over. So nice little decent crowd here at Park Hill, and on Saturday we expect a huge turnout as Pratis comes in now. And that one was almost a baseball type shot, and
he gone all the way.
All the way.
So the 50 comes up.
53 without loss.
5.3 overs.
Good going by on the part of the Windward Island Volcanoes. And that one was hit with some sort of despair. Just walked into it and slapped it.
There it is.
There you go.
Slapped it over long off.
So 53 without loss, as Rohit just having a brief 4 day with Practice, Captain Rohit Padel, and practice will now coming now to O'Geese. And this one he drives straight to mid-off. Padel.
Sweet song off the bat.
Yes, and it's good to see Padel sticking the ball without any bump.
Yeah, straight to the mid-off fielder, but that was it struck very firmly.
Yeah, lovely drive indeed there off the bat of O'Geese. But unfortunately, could only find the fielder at mid-off and Captain Rohit Padel.
I think 2 or 3 meters to the left or right, that would have gone to the fence.
Certainly. There's Practice. This one he pulls over mid-wicket. That is going to go out to the ground. It is into the banana field below. 6 well-taken runs.
But that was disdainfully hit. He just picked it up as if he was taking
food
candy from a baby and just dispatched it over mid-wicket.
So O'Geese now getting into the run feast here. Of course, Captain Melius on 36, and there you see that pull way over mid-wickets. And 6 more runs to the total here for the Windward Islands, 59 without loss.
Perhaps he's saying to his captain, you can do it, I can do it better. And really that was a disdainful shot.
Without a doubt. So just 1 ball remaining in this, the 6th over. And they're over 10 runs per over at this point in time. The Windward Islands Volcanoes, as we await the return of the ball. Both batsmen there on screen looking into the area, that mid-wicket area where the ball went over. I'm yet to see any thing being done by the reserve umpire. So
I think umpire Byam is down at the boundary edge looking over the wall. I'm not too sure. Perhaps there are some youngsters on that side going to retrieve the ball. And he's looking because we have not seen the third umpire as yet.
So
going out with any replacement. But certainly what we have seen so far from the 2 games, it is that the faster bowlers seem to get hit about rather easily because the bounce is true. The ball comes on very nicely.
Certainly.
And batters are comfortable playing through the line.
Well,
so I think the ball has been returned.
Yes, it is. And there's the umpire making his way back into the middle. In the background, one of those lovely little houses here at Park Hill. A nice community indeed, and a sporting community.
Very much so.
Close to South Rivers, another community that loves their cricket. That produced former West Indies fast bowler Cameron Coffey.
Definitely. Quite a few players coming out from the South Rivers. Butler, who played for the West Indies as well. South Rivers chap. Lyndon James, who played for the Windwards. We have seen him at Stanford.
Yes.
South Rivers as well. So there are a few names that you can look around and can speak of.
Well, O'Geese is about to resume his innings as the ball has been returned, and here comes Practice now. And this one off the edge, it will look like a bit of edge onto that one, down to that short third man position. That's the end of the 6th over. At the end of it, 59 for no loss. The Windward Islands chasing 180 for victory, just under 10 runs for over.
Just under 10 runs and over, and I think a pretty good start by the Windwards, putting the early pressure on Nepal, and they would have to do some work. We see Melius just signaling to the pavilion. Perhaps he's going to done away with his helmet, and it's going to be Lalit who is going to pick it up from the southern end. So it's going to be spin, and Melius, he's comfortable. He decides, I'm going to done with the helmet, and I'm going to see how I can take charge. He's on 36, O'Geese on 18, and really a good opening partnership, coming in 5.3 overs.
Well, it was a little slow for the openers, especially in the first 2 overs, but since that 3rd over, they've really taken to the attack of Nepal, and hence, of course, scoring at just about 10 runs over in the first 6. So Lalit being switched from the northern to the southern end as the breeze blows across the outfield, and this one spoons off the face of the bat, not immediately the pitch of it, but nonetheless fell into a harmless zone there for Melius. He got a signal in the process, Charlie.
Definitely a good delivery, spinning across him is the left arm spinner, getting that one to go across the right-hander. I think he was looking to tuck it on the onside, got a leading edge.
So, Lalit it is to continue. This time to August. Tries. And this one is going to beat the fielder. The bounce would have undid him there. And that's 4 more runs.
Definitely, he was stepped hard. It bounced in front of the fielder. Short, diminutive guy. Bounce, he was jumping for all his worth. It went over his hands, across the ropes and into the fence for 4. So Ogis continue to enjoy taking the attack to Nepal.
So here's Lalit once again. And this time he tries down to long enough. And the fielder is on the fence there. 1 more to the total.
65 without loss. We're in over number 7.
So the pressure definitely on the Nepalese team at this point in time. They'll want to see the back of one of these very, very soon. And there's Melius just gently tapping it into the onside. And Lalit seemed to be giving Melius a bit of a worry. Still was not to the pitch of that one, Charlo.
Well, he was content to just defend.
So let's see how he responds to this one. Again, pushing out and into that short mid-wicket position. The fielder comes off the fence. And there's 1 more added to the total. Now 67 for no loss. With an Island Volcanoes in pursuit of 180.
66.
66 without loss. There's Lalit. And this one, in the end, good work there by Irie on the deep mid-wicket boundary. And getting that return in, just 1 more added to the total. Now on to 67.
So at the end of over number 7, 67, 80, 38 to Melios, 23, 24 to Ogis. And a very good start indeed by the Windward Islands.
Yes, the dressing room at this point in time for the Volcanoes should be pretty comfortable. The batters who are to come, the likes of Kabim, Hodge and company, certainly they will be feeling pretty, as I said, comfortable in the dressing room and under no immediate pressure at this point in time. But I believe these two will want to continue and get as close as possible to the 100 to make life even more easier for the batters to come.
Well, definitely. And there's a change in bowling at the far end, the northern end. It's going to be Gulshan.
Looks like Gulshan, yes.
Who is going to pick it up from the northern end when he'll bowl to the left-handed Ogis, Hakeem Ogis.
So Gulshan, right arm, medium fast to Ogis. And Ogis just guides this one down to that short third man position and immediately off for the single. 1 more to the total, now 68 for no loss. The Windward Island Volcanoes in this, the 8th over. And Gulshan, there is him on screen. Tall, lanky figure indeed. Inspects a ball and now turn. The number 15 bearing down on his back, races in now. This time to Melnus. Drives. Lovely shot indeed. It looked easy, but it was a well-taken drive there by Melnus.
It was he caressed it through the covers and long off had a run, but you do get value for your shots, and it raced across the outfield, and in the end he just watched it go across the ropes. So 42 now to Melius, really a good captain innings here and putting his team into a very good position.
Without a doubt, it's 72 without loss, and this the 8th over. And he just caressed that one, but it seemed to just picked up speed as it made its way to the boundary. Gulshan. And this one goes square. They're off for a quick single. And I believe Ogis would have been in.
Yeah, I think he would have been there comfortably. And so good judgment of the single there. He was backing up very quickly. And the total goes on to 73. So good cricket on the part of Windward Island Volcanoes.
So the scoring rate is, I believe, exactly 10 runs are over there about. And Gulshan make his way back to the top of his mark. Ogis hoiks this one high. Is he going to beat the fielder? No, he doesn't. And a good take and catch there, keeping his eye on the rope. So there goes Ogis, gone for 25, looking to clear the long offense, but didn't have enough on it. And slapping the pads as he make his way back, because he knew that there was an opportunity for him to probably press on and make even more for the Windward Islands today.
Well, definitely. I think he just stroked it rather than really putting some power behind it. You saw that on the replay. He just stroked it and it went right a long way. And good judgment on the part of the fielder. And taking that just in front of the ropes. And you can see him there just stabling himself as he looks down at the ropes. But so good judgment on the part of the fielder, and Ogis has to make his way back.
Am I seeing his foot on the rope there?
It's a bit difficult for us from this side to see, but I did a boundary check.
Pretty close there, but Ogis is already back in the pavilion. There's no DSR here at Park Hill. We're just showing that for the benefit of our viewers. And new batsman is out.
Stephen Pascal.
Stefan Pascal. So 73 for the loss of one in this, the 8th over. But indeed a good start here for the Windward Islands as Pascal to take his first knock. And beaten outside the off stump. He just pushed at it. Didn't really and truly move his feet there. Just pushed the bat to ball. And went through to wicketkeeper. Total remains on 73 for 1.
And so a good partnership being broken there by Gulshan. As Ogis just stroked it and was caught on the long off boundary. He went for 25. And Pascal getting his first knock?
Yes, first knock for these games thus far. And this one, looking to guide it between the wicketkeeper and that gully fielder. They didn't get anything onto it. That's the end of over number 9. And at the end of it, it's 73 for 1. Windward Islands chasing 180. They are.
It's really the end of over number 8.
Number 8. So
just about 9 runs and over.
Well, that's the required rate to take you up to 180. So they're winning a good clip, the Volcanoes, as Lalit will continue from the southern end. As Captain Melius, he's not out on 43. No doubt will want to get to that 50 and then press on for the Windward Island Volcanoes to ensure that they take victory in this, the second game. Lalit. And Melius pulls one bounce down to long on and takes a single in the process. Total goes on now to 74. Of course, in the first game, when Nepal looked more or less dead and buried, the likes of Irie and Sampal and plucked victory out of the air.
Definitely, and they took the faster bowlers to the cleaners.
Lalit. And this one bounced a bit at the batsman. And Pascal, new to the wicket, caught in a bit of a problem there, but in the end,
I think he's yet to get bat on ball.
There comes Lalit. This one is through the offside. Fielder comes off that extra cover boundary. And finally off the mark is Stefan Pascal, Grenadian player. known more for his pace rather than handling the bat. So I'm a little surprised that he's in at number 3, but maybe just being given that opportunity as Lalit comes in now to Melius. And Melius, this one off the edge is going to probably get into the boundary. He was looking to pull this one somewhere over mid-wicket, but it took the outside edge, and luckily for him, it didn't spoon or anything like that or went to any fielder and raced down to the third man fence.
It flew down to third man and into the fence for 4. He goes on to 48, the total now on to 79. But I think he was lucky there.
Yeah, without a doubt, yes. Well, sometimes you need a bit of luck.
Yes, Lady Luck has followed him.
So, Lalit, as I said, seemed to be creating a bit of a problem and there you see the return ball striking Pascal. But Lalit comes in now, and this time he's to the pitch of it and works it into the onside. Fielding to his own bowling, there's Lalit. And Melius settles. Delivery that he rocks back and just forces into the offside. And for a moment I thought he was going to go a little bit more to the left of Irie, but only found Irie in that cover position. That's the end of over number 9, and at the end of it is 79 for 1.
79 for 1. So a good over indeed, I would say, on the part of Lalit, pulling things back a bit. And these two would have to just pace themselves as we look at a number of school children making their way into the pavilion.
And it's very good for the youngsters to come and see cricket at this level. Nepal international team, of course, they're into their second World Cup here in the Caribbean, and there you see even some of the young lasses being here at Park Hill. Charging down the wicket, there's Pascal. He gets one, and the fielders onto it. They're looking for the second, but that is not going to be. And total goes on now to 80. 80 for 1. And over number 10. And there we see some of the students. I believe they're from the Park Hill Government School.
Just around a few feet, 100 yards away from here.
That's Gulshan. Otto's in. And this time wrapping the pad there of Melius. And there was no appeal, that was outside the off stump, so no threat there to Melius. Just missed the ball completely.
I think it was a little bit too casual there in terms of the way he approached that. And he has to be very mindful. As a captain, you would want to see your team home.
Well, he's on 48, too short of that half century. As here comes Gulshan. And that's a loud appeal, but I believe the height there might have certainly helped Melius, but a good delivery from Gulshan.
It continues to create a bit of a problem for the batters. And they threw for a leg by.
Interesting to have a look at this replay. That's for the run out. There was absolutely no problem there, but I believe Melius was saved by the height that time around.
Yes, because he was going back, and I think it was above the knee roll, and I think umpire Butler just indicating there the height.
Yes. So Pascal will now take strike. Charges down the wicket and straight into the arms of the fielder there at that whitish long on position. And Nepal came in the second wicket.
A good catch indeed. It was hit very firmly indeed, but straight to the fielder who judged it well. He charged the bowler. He hit it very firmly indeed. And there is the fielder just taking that catch in front of the ropes. Again, very close to the ropes, but I think from our vantage point, I was looking at it, I think he was quite safe.
Quite safe. And we saw that in the replay there as he tosses the ball back. So Windward Islands losing their second wicket, that of Stefan Pascal. Not normally a top order batter, and I was, asking the question as to why you're bringing Pascal at this point in time, but the dressing room will certainly have the rationale. He's gone nonetheless, and it's 81 for the loss of 2 in this, the 10th over. So Melius is still there. Kimani Melius. So Kevin Hodge, a new batter. Batting at number 4 for the Windward Island Volcanoes. Gulshan in, and this one well played there by Hodge.
I'm looking at the structure. It certainly does not look like having Hodge. Okay, Kabem Hodge was the batter who got out, and Pascal is now at the crease. So he's off the mark on 1, and well played here by Melius. He gets a single, he goes on to 49, and the total now on to 83. But Kabem Hodge was the batter who got out.
Yeah.
I was looking at the number, and it says Kabem Hodge, and Pascal is now making his way out. He's on 1.
So information being rectified with our scorers. So it's actually Stefan Pascal who's in the middle, and Kevin Hodge, who didn't really look the part.
Definitely, I think when one looks at him from the very first game to this one, really seems not to have really been middling it, and in the end perished at a deep mid-wicket position.
So 83 for the loss of 2. The Windward Island Volcanoes, after some 10 overs, halfway mark, 180 required. And there's a bowling change at the southern end. It looks as if it's going to be Bertel.
Yes, Bertel is going to pick it up.
This time he'll be bowling to Melius, who's on 49. And Melius gets that half century, just caresses it down to backward point. Fielder comes around, picked up one more to the total. That's 50 to Melius as he raises his bat, and certainly getting a good applause from this appreciative crowd here at Park Hill. Windward Islands now on to 84 for the loss of 2 wickets in this the 11th over. And now Stefan Pascal is going to take strike. So here comes Bertel into Pascal. Pascal drives it into the offside. You can only find Irie, who's marshalling in that cover region. So that is true. So
Melius 50 coming off, 36 deliveries, 7 fours and 2 sixes.
Good going there by the Windward Island Volcanoes captain. 50 off 36. As this one is well fielded there by Bertel. And he's rubbing that left knee of his, would have been struck in the knee. And even more so as he dove to his left, you can see the remains of the dust from the pitch on his clothing.
Well, he's dusting himself off. Well, it was a very good stop on the part of Bertel there.
Well done. Comes in now, and this time worked off the pad. Fielder comes in on mid-wicket, and one more, total now on to 85 for the loss of 2. So it's important that these two, in Melius As we look at this replay once again, there's Bertel coming off with a good save, and I think he would have probably struck his knee into the pitch. That's primarily what happened a while ago. He's much better now. Comes in now to bowl to Melius, and Melius hits this one high.
Someone is circling
find the
underneath
long
it.
off fielder. He does take the catch. So there goes the prize scalp of Melius just after completing his 50. Looking to go over long off. Didn't make it this time. Catch taken. Windward Islands 85 for 3.
Well, at top edge, and I was just going to make the point that Nepal just pulling things back a bit, because the Windward Island Volcanoes, they were going at a pretty good clip. And that's the problem here. You lost a few wickets can really put you under pressure. And I think Nepal just about pulling things back here, as we can see Descarte making his way out.
And yet another good catch
And
on the ropes.
Right on the ropes.
The 3 dismissals have all been on the ropes.
Very close to the ropes as well.
Very, very close to the ropes. And on all occasions, the fielders doing some good work.
Good judgment on the part of the fielders.
So they've been good at the catching. A little scrappy in the outfield. But at 85 for 3, Nepal still very much in the hunt here today. That's the Park Hill playing field in this practice game, all in preparation for Cricket World Cup 2024. That's the T20 Cricket World Cup being held in the Caribbean and the United States. And of course, the final of these practice games will take place on Saturday. We'll come back here at the Park Hill playing field. After that, Nepal will depart St. Vincent and they'll head on to Texas, USA, where I understand they'll be having some practice sessions also. We'll be taking on a Houston 11, and it'll be interesting to see cricket in those parts in Texas.
Oh, definitely. I think they are looking forward for it.
More accustomed to New York and Florida, Fort Lauderdale, but Texas, that's pretty interesting.
Very much so. Had the opportunity of passing through Texas once. Right. So cricket really spreading its wings in a number of areas. And I think there will be cricket in Long Island.
Yes.
During the World Cup.
Yes.
Those are areas that you're not known to hear a lot of.
Here comes Bertel, all dusted, but he's picked up the scalp of Melius, and this time Descartes is back. Ball is quickly back into the gloves of the keeper, but couldn't avoid that single. The end of over number 11, and the end of a very, very good over there from Bertel.
And a successful over as well.
Yes.
So it's 85, so the run rate dropping, and they would expect, the Windward Islands would expect a few batters to come in and try to push things along. Descarte, he can hit the ball very far, strong lad, and he's off the mark, so just wait to see. 86 for 3 at the end of over number 11, and with Descarte on 1, Pascal, they would want a partnership between these two and really push the pressure back on Nepal, because Nepal just about pushing the pressure onto the Windward Island batters. So he's airy from the northern end.
Driven into the offside, and Podell not being able to get around in time. One more added to the total. It's now up to 87 for the loss of 3. That's 87 for 3. Windward Island Volcanoes taking a target. Fielder is off the boundary, and just one more resulting. So they're certainly rotating the strike, the Windward Island Volcanoes, picking up the singles, but having lost those 2 quick wickets, we certainly want to consolidate here and press on outside the off stump and into that point position. But there's Bertel picking it up, and no run resulting. Good outfield cricket there from Bertel. Avery now to...
Where are you going?
Well, Pascal was just simply there looking at Descartes. He's like, where are you hustling to? Got back in time nonetheless. Airy. And that's the reverse sweep. And there's Bertel diving neatly to his right there. Didn't pick up cleanly, but did enough to avoid the ball passing him and adding even more. They got a single in the process. It's now 89 for the loss of 3.
I certainly have saved the boundary.
Yes. So, Stefan Pascal. This one is bold. And a really awful looking shot there from Pascal. And he looks disappointed, but I would have been disappointed with a shot like that. It really and truly was agricultural, as we said, and losing his stumps in the process. The Winner Islands now 89 for 4.
Well, I think a poor shot on the part of Pascal, because you must recognize that Airy has not been flighting the balls.
No shape whatsoever.
He's pushing it through, so it would hustle you. It's easier to play him on the front foot. There he was looking for a pull shot, and that was through him. The bounce has also done him, because he was looking for a more bounce, but that one kept a little low, and it was through him before he completed the shot.
So Stefan Pascal back to the pavilion, and the new batter is Dylan Douglas, who had a good first game, scored 50 for the Winner Island Volcanoes in that losing cause, posted 196 in that game, and a lot will be expected of Douglas, along with Descartes, who also would have supported Douglas in that opening game.
And Dylan Douglas, a very talented individual indeed. Good batter, good all-round player. He keeps wicket. He also bowls off spin. Very good in the field as well. So very, very talented, very grounded cricketer. And one would hope, for the sake of Windward Island Volcanoes, that he comes good again.
Well, Bertel is going to continue. And this is the 13th over. So
Nepal just about tightening the screws.
Certainly. At one time, the Windward Islands were just over 10 runs per over as Bertel comes in to Descartes outside the off stump and left alone, having a look at the umpire as if it was wide, but umpire not interested. Considered to be a legal delivery. And Bertel tossing the ball from hand to hand. Moves in now to Descartes with that attempted reverse sweep and missed by the wicketkeeper. I believe this is going to be a bye. Let's see. Well, apparently would have gotten some bat
Seemed
on
to
it.
got some bat on it.
So not the area that he would have wanted that delivery to go, but getting a run in the process. And that's Descartes going on to 3. It's now 90 for the loss of 4. Bertel. With his leg breaks. Comes in now. And this one knocked around the corner there by Douglas. Looked a little tentative, but got enough bat onto the ball, and in the process a single, getting off the mark. He's on to 1.
So he's off that dreaded 0, and Descartes, the left-hander, comes back into strike. So left-hand, right-hand combination.
Fairly long run up here for Bertel. Comes in now to Descartes. This one hits into the arms of that's
Rohit Podell, the captain.
Yes.
Out too long on.
Good catch there from the Nepalese captain. And 91 for 5. Descartes, certainly who would have had a lot to offer to the Windward Island Volcanoes going back to the pavilion. Life might be a little bit more difficult going forward from here, Charlo.
Well, certainly I think this will be very, very difficult. It looks like Ned who is making a result, but good running catch there by the captain. And took it. Their catching have been good, but their outground feeling has really, in some areas, left a lot to be desired.
So that's Rohit Podell, Nepalese captain, leading from the front as far as that catch was concerned. He's had some scrappy moments, but as you said, Charlo, they've taken every opportunity that they've come their way in terms of catches, the Nepal team.
Definitely, and 4 of the batters have all been caught on the boundary. Yes. Except for Pascal, who was bowled playing a really atrocious shot.
Certainly. So, Darren Ned, a new batter. And Bertel, who's picked up 2 wickets, will continue from the southern end. He came good at the bat in that first game. Almost single-handedly took the Nepal team home. Comes in now to bowl to Ned, and Ned is back. Just forces it into the offside. There's absolutely no run available
But you
there.
can see the buoyancy in terms of the Nepalese in the field.
Yes.
That's what success does.
Without a doubt. As Bertel with his leg breaks coming out the bowl to Ned, and Ned drives down to long on, and that's long off. Sorry, that's a well taken shot. 4 good runs there off the bat of Ned.
Oh, definitely a beautiful shot by Ned. But looking at Bertel, he reminds me so much of Rashid Khan, the leg spinner.
Yes. You're so correct, Charlo.
That was tossed up, and Ned was launched into it and drove it sweetly through between extra cover and mid-off. And Captain Padel on did mid-off boundary, just watched it go across the ropes.
And absolutely no chance there. So 95 for the loss of 5. That's the Volcanoes after 13 overs. And these two in the middle in Ned and Douglas. Ned has already shown that he has the ability, he has the class. And we know what Dylan Douglas can do. So all is not lost here for this Windward Islands team.
So Lalit comes back into the attack.
Switching ends once again. Back to the northern end, the mountainous end, the hillside end here at the Park Hill playing field. Sun out in all its glory here this afternoon. But there's still that nice cooling breeze that's coming into our commentary position. Lalit. And this one, Douglas just works it calmly into the offside. The off for a quick single.
Comfortably taken.
Yes, Irie came around very quickly indeed. And picked up, quickly had the ball back into the gloves of his wicketkeeper, but couldn't avoid that run. 96 for 5. So Lalit it is to continue. And now asking for the fielder just to come around a bit into that deep cover boundary. It's time to bowl to Ned. And Ned showing some respect there. Just working it back up along the pitch. Defensive mood. So Lalit will be happy with that. So to Captain Podell and the rest of this Nepalese team. As coming once again to bowl to Ned. And Ned gets one that jumped at him off of the pitch, but he was on top of it and just pushed it into the offside. One more to the total.
Soft hands and a really comfortable single taken by these two. Dylan Douglas, who have been rather quiet, and comes in to strike.
So Douglas with that 49 on his back. To this delivery, worked it into the head-on area. Fielder comes off the long-on fence, and just one more added. So they're rotating the strikes. They're doing it in singles, but in the 14th over, there's that need for that occasional boundary.
You need some boundaries.
So Nepal will be comfortable with this type of batting, and there's Douglas bowled.
In fact, it was Ned looking to white that over wide long on. Lost his stumps. Our stump knocked back in the process. So Windward's sink further into trouble.
98 for 6, and this is the 14th over. And Ned, as we have a look at the replay, head in the air and completely bowled there. So he goes back to the pavilion, and
as if Hooper makes his way out.
So Hooper, as we know,
can bat.
No rabbit with the bat. Yes.
Can bat. Can hit the ball a long way as well.
So there we see Ned not getting to the pitch of that one. preconceived shot, and that's the whole matter of the pressure, not getting the boundaries, and Ned finding it necessary or wanting to certainly get over the ropes or push the scoring on, giving his wicket away.
That's what pressure does. Push you in that mood to want to do something, to push it on, and here it is. He did something rash and paid the penalty.
So Asif Hooper now will settle. Lalit is in, and back and across, and just works it into the onside. The bowler fielding to his own bowling, and that's the end of over number 14.
99.
With just 6 more overs to go and 81 to get, 36 deliveries and 81 runs to get.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, but
we really have to see some serious ball beating to get there.
So those are the two batters in the middle, Asif Hooper and Dylan Douglas, who have lost his helmet. Both batsmen, as a matter of fact, without helmet, as it's been slow bowling here from the Nepalese team. Bertel will continue from the southern end.
He's enjoying his job.
Yeah, you can see it on his face. He's really enjoying his time out there, tossing ball from hand to hand. And as Asif Hooper just marking his guard, a little bit of cleaning there on the pitch area. And they now settle as Bertel, opening batter and doing some bowling. Hooper down the wicket, sweeps, and out caught. Good catch there by Airy.
Their catching has been outstanding.
So Asif Hooper being caught in the mid-wicket fence at 99 for 7. The writing appears to be on the wall for this Windward Island team. Straight into the arms there of Airy, making absolutely no mistake. And Nepal claiming their 7th wicket. The Volcanoes under pressure.
Definitely, and Larry Edwards makes his way out. But their catching really have been outstanding.
Well, it's one of the things that even during the break, we saw them doing a lot of practicing with regards to the catching, and certainly this paid off. And every single opportunity being presented here today off the bat of the Volcanoes player, as far as catches are concerned, being taken by this Nepal team. So 99 for 7.
So one left-hander replacing the other, Larry Edwards.
So Edwards, this time with a cap, will face to Bertel. And pushes into the offside, and again you see that misfield. That's an area that they certainly have to work on, this Nepal team.
Fortunately, he didn't go far, didn't give away an extra run, but their ground feeling has been very poor.
Bertel, Edwards tucks it into that mid-wicket position, short mid-wicket, and the two fielders converging on it, and Lalit and Irie winning the run, or the race I should say. Irie,
exuberant Irie.
But that will continue. The 100 is on the board for the Volcanoes, but they need another 80 to get victory here today. Only 3 wickets in hand, and that's Dylan Douglas working it off his legs for one more, and 101 now for the loss of 7. So from a stage of 70 without loss to 101 for 7.
Some 31 runs.
Yeah, not good work there for the Windward Island team. As Bertel now will come in to bowl to Larry Edward, and Edward looking to just work this one somewhere between that point and short third man position and getting the batter onto the ball and into the gloves there of the keeper. Still 101 for 7. Bertel. And this one is driven to that mid-on position, and had he struck the stump there, it might have very well been interesting scenario for the
certainly
Winners.
it would have been. And Edwards, he goes on to 202, so some 78 runs still needed.
But 5 overs to go. So
30, 78 from 30.
Not a situation where you
need more than 2 runs and over.
right.
So it's going to be a big axe, particularly when you have the lower order.
Well, it's exactly 14 runs per over.
With Douglas being the main batter, but he's at the non-striker's end.
Well, it's 78. Sorry, it's more than 14 runs per over, Charlo.
14 point. And try to do the math.
15.6 runs per over. So it's a tall order for this Windward Islands team, as we see there's a bit of a delay. Both batters having a look at the players' pavilion, and helmet is now being brought out as it's going to be Gulshan being reintroduced into the attack. So with the pace of Gulshan, the batters, of course, making sure that they have that protective headgear, their helmets, and there we see, just having a look at the wonderful surroundings here at Park Hill. Lone play all the way out in that deep position. That's Sumpal. But Gulshan is going to continue with the bowling here for the Nepal team. Edwards gets it off, and again that was close.
Had that struck, he certainly would have been making his way back to the pavilion. But there's urgency on the part of Douglas to get the strike.
We noticed that, definite urgency. And he's a player who can certainly turn it around for the Windward Island Volcanoes.
Certainly something that the crowd would enjoy at this particular moment, if Douglas can really to get into his strides and take the bowlers on.
And there he goes. High, hard, that's into the hills, that's 6 runs. Wonderful shot off the bat.
Well, I just mentioned it. I just mentioned it, and the crowd erupted.
So, good on Douglas, showing his intention. We're into the 16th over, 4 more after this, and that was literally climbing the mountain.
Well, definitely, and there must be a replacement ball, because you're not going to get there.
There's no way you're going to retrieve the ball out of there. As you have a look at that replay, high and hard over long on, and into the bushed area, that hilly bushed area here at Park Hill. There's no way you're going to find that ball, as we see already in the middle. The umpire receiving the reserve ball, that's umpire Butler. Just having a look at it and tosses it on now to Gulshan.
So we see Gulshan just throwing it to his captain. Captain had a look at it, he's satisfied and gives it back to Gulshan. So he will have to continue.
Gulshan breaks into his stride now. The ball to Douglas again. And this time, in defense, pushes it back up along the onside, equal to his own bowling there is Gulshan. And some good fielding there on the leg side. Total remains at 109 for 7. So a lot depends on Douglas here for the Windward Island Volcanoes. .71 runs required as Gulshan comes in now. And this one, deft touch off the bat. They threw for 1. And, well, that should not have been a second. And, well,